Okay, so the other day I went into WHSmith to get a couple of books and I thought I'd do a book haul video since I ended up going quite a lot of them. So yeah, the first book that I actually went in to get is 13 Weddings by Paige Toon. This is one of the ones I actually went in knowing I would get because Paige Toon's one of my favourite authors and she just released this one, yay, as a summer read. They're always chick lit books that are kind of good for the summer, but what makes it then, it's not just like girl is sad, girl meets boy, girl is happy. It's not that rubbish chick lit kind of thing. Like all of the characters, they've got their own lives, they've got their own careers. That it's just like, it's, the books are more like stories about their lives. Oh, and there happens to be a romance, rather than, oh my gosh, the romance is everything, which kind of gets a bit annoying after a while. But yeah, Paige Toon's really good. They're really funny. Some of them are quite sad actually. But they're always really good. And what's really good about Paige Toon is that she does really good secondary characters. They're not just sort of there as filler characters. They're well-developed characters that could really have books in their own right. And there's nearly always one outrageous one that you just want to have as a friend. That's really good. Also, what's really good about Paige Toon is that characters from her other books wander in and out of the other books. So in this one, which is the last one that she's brought out, we find out that two of the previous characters are having babies, so it's like, ah. So one of my favourite ones by Paige Toon, Pictures of Lily, the character in Lily when she's 26, she's covering as a picture assistant or a picture editor or something, at a desk for a magazine. She's covering for Bronte, who's off with appendicitis. And then Bronte is actually the main character of this book. The second book that I wanted to get is You're the One That I Want by Giovanna Fletcher, aka Mrs. Tom from McFly. She brought out her first book, Billy and Me, last year, which was actually really good. It's sort of quite cool because the character in it, Billy, he's an actor, and it sort of goes into what it's like to be a girlfriend of someone in the industry, which obviously Giovanna knows about. So yeah, that was quite a fun read, so I thought I'd get this one. It's about these three people, Maddie, Rob and Ben, who grew up as children together, and it's really nice because it starts off, you have little chapters, so you have Maddie, 9 years old, and then it flicks on to Ben, 15 years old. And it's really clever because instead of just starting in when they're adults with the relationships fully formed, you get to see them from when they're like 6, 9, 15, so you sort of get to grow up with them, really. This is a sort of a love story one because Maddie sort of falls in love with Rob, but then Ben falls in love with her, and then she sort of falls in love with Ben, and she's like, oh, but which one do I choose? Usually in love triangles, which are kind of boring and so overdone now, they don't all care about each other, but with this one, because they're best friends, all of them care about each other, so it's quite an interesting dynamics, really. Yeah, these were the only two that I actually really wanted to go in and buy, but you know what it's like when you go into a bookshop and you just suddenly see a book and it's like, oh, I want that one as well. So I saw this one called Gypsy Princess by Violet Cannon. I've never heard of her before. Don't judge a book by its cover, but that cover's sick, so I assume this book's going to be good. So I really wanted it because I really like the sort of idea of gypsies and, you know, sort of like going off travelling and stuff. But the problem is I don't really know that much about gypsies, you know, I just sort of base all my ideas off, you know, the caravans and like the long flowing dresses and like Esmeralda, so it's like I don't actually know that much about gypsies. And I was reading through this one, reading through the blurb and stuff. And it turns out the author was actually brought up in a Romany gypsy way, so she sort of based it on her childhood. So I thought it'd be good to actually read up about what it is to be a gypsy, because as much as I say I love gypsies and the gypsy lifestyle, I don't actually know that much about it. I sort of partly bought this book so I could actually find out more about it. Okay, so then after that one I saw this one, One Night in Italy, yay! And basically I've been taking Italian lessons this year, so I was like, oh, let's get an Italian book, which I thought would be really cool. And basically it's about these three girls, Anna, Catherine and Sophie, who they've all got different reasons, different sort of connections to Italy. Anna finds out her father that she's never met is Italian. Catherine's husband's walked out on her, and Sophie is the one who's teaching the Italian class. So it's all sort of different women that come together, and the story about them. And it's by Lucy Diamond, and I've read a couple other of her books and they're really good. She did this one called Sweet Temptations, group of 3 or 4 women I think it is, who joined some sort of Weight Watchers class, but it's a really well written book. She likes to do books where it's completely different women that are just brought together for one reason, but they sort of, because they've been brought together, you know, they help each other out and they, you know, rediscover things about themselves. So they're quite good. and it's about Italian, so I thought I'd really like that. This one was buy one, get one for £1, so obviously you have to find another book. Which brought me on to this one, called The Way We Were by Elizabeth Noble. Basically, this is another one about childhood sweethearts, which seems to be a recurring theme with these books that I've got. But yeah, it's basically Susanna and Rob were childhood sweethearts. I think basically like they break up, they grew apart, and then they meet each other years later, and it's like, oh, the chemistry is all back. And the tagline is, but Susanna and Rob can't forget the way they were. But you know, it was £1, so I think I've read another one of Elizabeth Noble's books actually. Yeah, oh yeah, I've read another one of her books actually. It's quite cool. It's about a brownstone in New York that got turned into a load of different apartments. About all the different people that you got in the brownstone and how they interacted and stuff. Which is quite, I think that book made me cry actually. I think that was a really good book. So yeah, I trust Elizabeth Noble. She seems to be a good writer. So hopefully this will be good. And then the last one, which I can't show the cover of, but I got this one for my dad. It's his 50th birthday soon. So at least I didn't buy, at least one of the books wasn't for me. But I can't show you the cover just in case he somehow manages to find this video before I give it to him. So there you have it. The only ones I've read are the first two, 13 Weddings, and You're the one that I want. So I can definitely recommend those two. They were really good. Although they didn't actually end up with the people I wanted them to, so I was kind of like, ah, damn. But no, they are really good books anyway. And the other three, I'm guessing they're going to be good. I haven't actually read them yet. I'm going to start Gypsy Princess today, though. So what I might do is do, if that one's really good, I might just do a book review on its own at the end of it. But yeah, these are my books. Bye.